So hi there. I am so glad to be here with you all this evening. We have some super fun things to cover. But first of all, I have been watching people come in to chat. I have another screen up that's got the chat. So I'd love to know where you're from. Where are you popping in from? Say hello. And while you're doing that and people are still coming in, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I am Kerry Harling, CEO and founder of the Holistic Highway. I'm also a mom of a son who is now big. He is 30. And the reason I bring him up is he's just been staying with me for this last week. I am an author of the 25-day Ayurveda cleanse. So lucky me that got to write and publish a book. I've done a bunch of presentations and speaking engagements, but I think my most important role is to guide to others. I'm constantly searching for the latest and coolest breakthroughs in health, especially around digestion and health and toxicity. Today, we're going to be talking about detoxing or cleansing, and I'll use those interchangeably, although I know they do mean different things. But I love to talk about cleansing. It's a big area. I have a lot of new stuff to talk about, and I'm excited to share it with you all today. But first, I would love to know, what do you want to learn today? I'd love to know why you are here. And most importantly, pulling back the veil a little, my cat that I rescued 5 months ago has exceeded the quarantine 15. I have a cat that's weighing in at 8 pounds, and I'm blaming it on my husband because he's an easy scapegoat and he's the one that gives her treats. So we have a little quarantine 15 going on with a cat. But anybody else also struggling with sort of the quarantine 15? And I think for my cat, that's technically the quarantine 25. But what about you? I'd love to see. Anyone on the quarantine 15 right now? Yep, I want to hear about calorie restriction and intermittent fasting. We are getting there. So I'd love to hear what you'd love to learn about today, why you're here, what you're looking for, and let me tell you about what I've got going on. So here's the thing though, I absolutely love audience participation. I love it. Yes, and I'm seeing on chat a lot of things, skincare, guts. I'm seeing that some of you have put on the quarantine 15. Somebody's cat's also in the same place. Some of you have lost some. Some of you are also a little bit in a rut. I see sort of brain fog, low energy, low motivation. Now, I don't know about you, but when we first closed down, first of all, I was like, fine, this is fun. This is kind of cool. I'm having a great time at home. I'm getting to do some projects at home that I haven't done. I'm going to do a little bit of decorating. I'm going to do a little bit of all the things that I wanted to do. Now, I'm like, okay, I've had enough. Let's just get out of here. So yeah, anybody else feeling the same way, a little bit sort of constrained? So let me tell you what I have in store for you, and I am super excited about it. First of all, we are going to, of course, address why you need to detox, even if you're living in a pristine area. We will also talk about intermittent fasting and why intermittent fasting is such an amazing tool. And when you put those two things together, the cleansing and the intermittent fasting, my gosh, it is so powerful. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 + 1 = like 100. But stay with me until the end so that you can find out how to enter a draw to win a free space in the upcoming group cleanse. We'll be giving one of those away. So I'm going to share how you can do this cleanse and intermittent fasting together, but also how to do intermittent fasting. And we've been getting so many questions about this, and there are definitely things to do and definitely things not to do. The same with detox. So we'll talk about the to-dos and the don'ts with intermittent fasting, with detoxing, and why right now is the time to do this. Plus, make sure you have your worksheet printed out. If you don't have it, print it out. Go on, go to the printer, go do it right now. Why do I want you to do this? Well, I want you to do this because I want to make sure that you get the important information. A big goal for you today is that you'll come out of this and you'll have some great new ways to break through plateaus, to get out of that rut, start having a lot better energy, clean your liver. Yep. And I see somebody there says, I want to clean my liver. So giving your liver a break, getting out of that rut, knowing some tools that you can put into place right now. And yep, we're going to talk about intermittent fasting that is great to do on a weekly basis for some of you. So we'll talk all about that. And of course, we'll talk about how we can do all this together. And if there's one thing I know, the number one reason people don't start doing something is what? What do you think? What's the number one reason people don't do things? Why don't they get started? I'm waiting for you to put it in chat, I meant. Oh, I can see the pandemic's got to a lot of people here. Yep. Yeah. So the number one reason people don't get started is they don't have a start date. So I always think that you're better off when you do this in a group. We have more fun together, we're more powerful together, and a start date is everything, right? So we'll talk about how you can do it with us. And first off, I'd love to know who's already done a detox. Let me know in chat. So I'm looking in chat right now. I have Sarah, an A+ for stopping smoking. Let's all give Sarah a big virtual applause. Go you, Sarah, that's amazing. So I'm seeing, yep, a lot of you have done detoxes. Great. Because one of the things that's super important is to detox. And there's a couple of different things. I want you to think of things daily that you can do to detox. And we'll talk about that. Because I feel that we should detox at least twice a year. And by the way, it's on your worksheet. Number one, I recommend doing a guided detox or cleanse at least twice a year. And here's why. We do a guided detox twice a year, once in spring to lighten and brighten up after the heaviness of winter. And the other time is in fall, now. And that's to build our immunity for the upcoming winter. And of course, immunity is so important right now. Not only just to protect us from coronavirus, but we are coming into flu season as well. So this will be the last one this year, obviously, as it's October. And how is that? How is it that it's already October? This year seems so long with everything that's happened in it, yet seems to be flying by so quickly, if that makes sense. Anyway, this will be the last one this year. We'll do a guided detox. And each time we do one, I try and bring a new element so that you can continue, I should say, to upgrade your health. Then you can learn things that you can put into your daily routine. So it is super important to do something that you can focus on, to get into some new habits, do things a little bit more intensely, take out that cellular trash, and then you also have some new tools that you can put into your daily diet, your daily routine that's just going to keep you getting healthier and healthier. Because here in our world, at the Holistic Highway world, we are de-aging. We're just getting better and better, right? Ayurveda in Sanskrit means the science of life or the science of longevity. So it really is a blueprint for how to live the rest of your life with health and vitality. And that's what I want for you. So this is all about how to do that. How does that sound? Thumbs up, yay in chat if that sounds good for you. Yep. So great, wonderful. Your worksheet you received in your email. Yep, so you should have that. So I am seeing all the things that people have been doing. Yep, detoxing for the Epstein-Barr virus. Okay, somebody did a colon cleanse. Somebody came off all refined sugars. Great, my chat's over here. So wonderful, you're amazing. Looks like a pretty advanced group here. I also see somebody did a spring cleanse with me. So wonderful. Great. That was awesome, the spring cleanse. So we do this twice a year, and each year I bring in new stuff. I'm always researching how we can implement new technology and research, but still staying true to the Ayurveda principles, because clearly I'm an Ayurveda practitioner, that makes sense. And these are the principles that are really tried and tested over thousands of years. Now, I've been working on this one for a while, because this one is the perfect combination of the Can you all hear me now? Sorry, I was muted. I think I got muted along with the general group. Do I have to go back to the beginning again? You mean I was chattering away? So yeah, somebody just said they met me at the Women's Health Conference. And how flattered was I to be on the stage with the ex-Surgeon General? That was Richard Kimona. He's now at Canyon Ranch. What a phenomenal person he is. So he was a great person. So here's the thing. I'm sure as you're listening to this, you're being very, very careful about managing your environment. Sort of looking at the cleansers you have, looking at the makeup you use, looking at the body products you use, looking at all the different places where toxins can come in. But even if you're doing all those things, toxins are still all around us. So what I'd love you to do is list out now. What I want to see is some of the things, some of the toxins that you can think of. What are some of the different places you can think of? Like I'm thinking you can get heavy metals from some of the different seafoods, especially if you're eating the predator fish like salmon or tuna or swordfish even. So tell me some of the places that you're seeing toxins. Yeah, dryer sheets, absolutely. Bathroom and household cleaners. Yes. Pesticides, of course. Where else? Cleaning products. Yep, we've got that. Sugar, artificial sweeteners. Let's really shout that one out. How are those even allowed? Tap water. Yes. Prescription medications. Love it. Yes. Yep. You guys are really, really smart. And what you're seeing here as I'm looking at a chat is that there are toxins everywhere. And by the way, I hope you're filtering your water, because remember, your skin is like a sieve. You're bathing in it, you're showering in it. There's also molds. I can see artificial sweeteners again, artificial colorings, plastics in things, phthalates. Phthalates is what makes plastic pliable, like bottled water, so it's soft. PCBs, they're still in our environment. Xenoestrogens, yes, in plastics. So all these different toxins are in places where we are. It's in the air, the water, the food, cleaning supplies, carpets, all over the place. So what I want you to pick here is that toxins are all around us. List 3 toxins that you can think of on your workshop sheet. So things like PCBs, phthalates, xenoestrogens, which mimic things in your body, mold, artificial colorings, artificial sweeteners, all of that stuff. So just list 3. I know there's lots there, but just go ahead and list 3. So everybody has written down 3. Yeah, we all good there? Great. So here we go. Now that you have all of that, what you probably realize is that there's just no way to get away from toxins completely. Even if you were to go and live somewhere where humans have never ever been, you know, far, far away, you would still find that there are toxins there because of the air currents, because of the water flowing. So everywhere there are toxins. We just can't get away from them. Now, you're still going to want to minimize your exposure to them. And ideally, the first thing we want to do is minimize that toxic exposure. But remember, if you're not regularly removing toxins, they're going to build up and they're going to end up, where do you think? Where do toxins end up in your body? Those of you who have clients of mine, you should know this, having gone through the thing. Anybody know? Liver, that's a great detoxifying, is putting down the liver. They're actually going to build up in your fat cells. Yep, write it down. If you're not regularly removing toxins, they're going to build up in your fat cells. This is the big place that they're stored, and that's why they wreak havoc on your body. Now, I want you to think of something here. We often think of our bodies as a bank account, where things accumulate. But your body is really one big, complex, but dynamic chemical system, much like a chemistry lab. And that's in the worksheet too. And this is so true with toxins. Because remember the old adage, that old weight loss adage, that if you wanted to lose weight, you just had to eat less and exercise more? Except we know that doesn't work. Why? Because hormones run everything. If your thyroid's not working well, if you have high insulin, your insulin resistance, for example, if you've got estrogen dominance, your body is going to store fat and not burn it. You're then going to feel sluggish, you're going to be fatigued, you're going to be constipated, which is a clear sign that things aren't moving properly. You're going to feel bloated, you're going to have cravings, all that terrible stuff, right? So your body is not a bank account. It's a complex, dynamic chemical system. And toxins disrupt this chemical system because they impact the key hormones that help you lose weight and feel great. Those are thyroid, estrogen, insulin. Now, here's a super interesting one. There was a study done. It was called the Nhanes Study. This study looked at nurses, and prior to this study, there was this belief that obesity caused diabetes. But what they discovered in this study was that it wasn't the diabetes, it wasn't the obesity that created the diabetes. It was actually the toxins that were stored in the fat cells that were lowering the body's metabolism that was causing diabetes. It was changing the way the handled blood sugar, insulin, and also lowering metabolism. So it's not just about calories. But yet we still tend to think, I probably hear this several times a day, where people say, oh, I'll cut calories to lose weight. But you have to make sure that your blood sugar and insulin are working well. You have to have good thyroid function, that your estrogen and progesterone are balanced. And you can get high estrogen just from the foods you're eating, just because some of the xenoestrogens that are in plastics. And by the way, with thyroid, and this is what is super important, not only is your body not a bank account, it's a complex chemical system, but it's also a history book. So here it is. Your body is also a history book. That means these toxins, if you're not removing them from your body, if you're not getting them out, guess what they're doing? You're storing them in your body and they're accumulating. Now, here's a big challenge that we see with studies that are looking at toxins. First of all, you have to realize that when companies are studying ingredients that are toxic to the human body, they want to show that they're safe so that they can put them in their products. This is a conflict of interest. But the bigger issue is the toxins that are storing up and combining with other toxins. That's what creates a problem. So case in point, if you're doing Splenda, you're getting chlorine. If you're doing bleached white bread, and please don't do that, or bleached wheat flour, you're getting bromide. And if you're brushing your teeth, and take a look at your toothpaste container, and you'll see that it says, do not swallow. In fact, more than a pea size of toothpaste is toxic. So these things together, chlorine, bromide, and toothpaste, is toxic to your thyroid. This is a huge problem. These things store and combine and they create problems in the body. In fact, this is one of the biggest problems with weight loss resistance. So answer to number 4, our bodies are not a bank account. They are a complex, dynamic chemical system. And number 5, your body is also a history book. So remember, all these toxins are storing in your body. They're combining to create weight loss resistance. They're wreaking hormonal havoc. So now your metabolism is slowing down because here is what your body is thinking. I better hold on to this fat so that I can keep these toxins locked away. So it actually makes your body worse at burning fat. And I don't know about you, but I want to be super good at burning fat, don't you? So let's recap a little. Some big things that we are realizing here. You are being bombarded by toxins every day. So we first have to minimize our exposure. That's it. Number 1, minimize exposure. But then you also want to make sure that on a daily basis, you're doing activities that will help your body get rid of these toxins. And we'll be talking about those. However, I believe that if we can get together at least twice a year and really focus, this cleanse will facilitate bigger detoxification in your body. And what you notice in a week is absolutely remarkable. It helps break you through weight loss plateaus. You'll have more energy. You'll get out of that rut. You'll start to lose the bloat. You'll get rid of that inflammation that brings fatigue. Sound good? Are you in? Yeah. All right. So here we go. You should now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we all on the same page? Are we good? Do you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I'm looking at chat. You've all gone quiet on me again. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So let me know. So yes, I love that, Catherine. Yes, detoxing twice a year is important. Yep. I'm going to share about some of those things about not to do, but also think about some of the things you can put into your daily life. And then we're going to do something that can really show you how you can focus that's going to be more intense for a week. But we can do anything for a week, right? Can we agree on that? Okay. So let's talk about intermittent fasting. Who's heard of intermittent fasting? On chat, please. Who's heard of it? Let me know. Have you heard of intermittent fasting? Me, yes, yes, yes. Thumbs up if you know about it. Me, yes, 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 yes. Looking pretty cool. Great. A pretty advanced group. My adult son does it. So does mine. He amazed me today when he said, I'm fasting. So intermittent fasting is an amazing tool. And I'm going to share with you what you should do before you even start intermittent fasting. Let's talk about what intermittent fasting does. One of the amazing things that it does is that it can create what's called caloric variability. Excuse me, let me have a drink. My honey and lemon. If all you wanted to do to lose weight was to reduce calories, let's say you were going to downshift your calories. Let's imagine that we're eating 2,000 calories a day and you turn around and say, well, now I'm going to start eating 1,200 calories a day. Well, that would work for a while. Then your body would be like, wow, I'm starving over here. And it would downshift your metabolism to accommodate it. We've all tried it. I'm pretty sure you have. I certainly have. And you know what happens. It doesn't work. But here's what's cool about intermittent fasting. It's cycles of feeding and fasting. Now, that's number 6 on our Detox Master Class worksheet. The key to intermittent fasting is the cycle of feeding and fasting. Now, this is something that you can put in your regimen. You can rotate it in to create that caloric variability. You know what? This is the way things used to be thousands of years ago. We didn't wake up to have breakfast, a snack, lunch, a snack, and then a big dinner. Some days we would skip food altogether. Some days we would just feast. So things were variable. And this is a very important thing to add in, because when we do that, it creates a ton of biochemical processes that are really beneficial. And I'll get to that in just a minute. Now, the most popular way to do intermittent fasting is something called the 16-8 feeding schedule. That means you don't eat for 16 hours, but you do eat for 8. So 16-8 feeding schedule, that's number 7 on the Detox Master Class worksheet. Most popular way to do intermittent fasting is the 16-8 feeding schedule. Got it? However, I will tell you that within that, there are also different ways to do it. And what I found works best for women in general, and what you need to do to work into this is take it a little bit slowly than that. You don't suddenly decide one day, okay, that's it, I'm doing it, I'm fasting. And, we will talk about what to do first as well. But the most popular is that 16-8 feeding schedule. So we are good through number 7. So just want to make sure that we've got number 1. I recommend doing a guided detox twice a year. Toxins are all around us. We listed 3. They could be PCPs, phthalates, xenoestrogens, molds, artificial colorings, artificial sweeteners. Number 3, if you aren't regularly removing toxins, they build up in your fat cells. Number 4, our body is not a bank account. It's a complex dynamic system. Number 5, your body is also like a history book. 6, the key to intermittent fasting is the cycle of feeding and fasting. And the most popular, that's number 7, is the 16-8 schedule. So here we go. How does intermittent fasting benefit you? I'll tell you, if this was a prescription drug, it would be the most prescribed prescription drug ever. It is amazing, the benefits here. After you've heard about the benefits, you're going to be, I've just got to get started. So again, I'm going to walk through what I found to work the best, especially for women. What you do to prepare for intermittent fasting. We're going to talk about how to use intermittent, I can't speak tonight, intermittent fasting, both during this focus cleanse. We'll talk about the focus detox that we're going to do, and then how to take it into your everyday life. And what a great way, that we can do this. So let's talk about this. The benefits of intermittent fasting. Number 1, it reduces your risk factor for diabetes. I got to tell you, I look right now what's going on with coronavirus, and probably the biggest risk factor is being diabetic or being hypertensive. Intermittent fasting is a super important tool here to reduce that risk. Number 2, intermittent fasting reduces your visceral fat. What's that? That is belly fat, my friends. So it reduces belly fat, helps reduce blood sugar and insulin levels, improves insulin sensitivity. And here's why that's so important. If you have elevated blood sugar, even mildly elevated blood sugar, you have 5 times the risk of dementia. That's 5 times. You might find that you've been trying to eat well, yet your blood sugar levels are not really coming down. Then intermittent fasting is a great tool for rapidly improving your blood sugar and your insulin levels. Now, the more sensitive your body is to insulin, the insulin doesn't have to go up as high. If insulin is high all the time and you're inflamed, you basically can't burn off fat. You're going to find that you just can't burn off any stored fat because you've locked those doors to the fat cells, which means then you're always hungry. So it's a total catch-22. Okay, next one, number 3. Intermittent fasting increases adiponectin and reduces leptin levels. These are two super important hormones for making you able to lose weight because they regulate your appetite and your ability to burn fat. When you increase leptin and reduce leptin, you're just not as hungry and you burn fat better. So it stimulates weight loss. It slows what's called the browning of white adipose tissue. And you've probably heard about something called BAT fat. That's brown adipose tissue. Brown fat around your waist is the easy fat to burn. White fat is the fat that just hangs on there. It just won't let go. It just holds on. So you don't want that fat. Right. The next thing, just checking chat to make sure that I'm keeping up with every question. The next thing, and this is why it's so cool and critical for detox, and this is why I thought if we put together traditional cleansing with intermittent fasting, then this would be the most amazing tool ever. And it is. And that's because it triggers something called autophagy. Autophagy, that's literally like eating your cells. So what that does is it takes out the cellular trash from your cell, takes out the debris, gets rid of all old cells, dead cells that you need out of there. It just takes them out. That means it's going to increase longevity. It actually boosts something called the SIRI1 gene. That's what improves longevity. So some other benefits of detoxing with intermittent fasting: reduces inflammation in the brain, the heart, and the body, helps you make new mitochondria. And why is that important? Mitochondria is what determines how much energy you have. And so ask yourself, how are you feeling all day? How are your energy levels? And who wants amazing energy all day long, right? So it also protects against oxidative stress. The best way to describe oxidative stress, so think about the apple, you know, when you cut open an apple, it doesn't take very long before it browns, does it? That's you, that's oxidative stress. And we don't want that. We don't want oxidative stress because that creates premature aging, creates inflammation. And then what we have to do is we have to use antioxidants to combat the free radicals created by oxidative stress. So let's go over the different things that it does. Ready? Number 8, intermittent fasting can benefit you by reducing belly fat, improving blood sugar or blood sugar balance, and lowering inflammation. So let's go over that again. Intermittent fasting can benefit you by reducing belly fat, improving blood sugar balance, and lowering inflammation. And as I said, if that was a prescription drug, could you imagine? Incredible. All right, next step. I think you're seeing that if you put together a traditional detox, sort of a traditional Ayurveda detox, or the strategies of that detox with intermittent fasting, then you're going to have the ultimate detoxification. So let's do a little review of where you might be at right now. Maybe you're feeling tired. You may be feeling uninspired or frustrated. Maybe you're feeling like you're stuck in a rut. Maybe you're feeling just a little bloated, a little heavy. And I want you to imagine. I want you to imagine feeling lighter in just 7 days. I want you to feel like you have more energy than you thought possible in just a week. Imagine that you have a tool that you can use now to get you back to feeling really confident in your body. And that's what this can do for you. Once you learn how to do this, and by the way, I love doing this a couple of times a year. I think what I love doing is I rotate some of these practices into my diet or my nutritional program a few times a week. I'm adding that caloric variability. I'm taking out that cellular trash. So then it makes it automatic for me to maintain my weight and to age well. I don't like that term anti-aging. It sounds like you've stopped aging altogether. I want to age well. And as I talk with all of my clients, what I hear from them is nobody minds aging. They just want to do it well, and they want to do it with health and vitality. So aging well with vitality, easily maintaining weight. Does that sound good to you? What do you think? Does that sound good? I'm looking at the chat. Yep. I'm saying yes. Yes. Are you in for that? Wonderful. So this is totally possible. We can totally do this together. So what I want to do is talk about intermittent fasting, how to do it, what you need to know as you step into it, and also the detox, the do's and don'ts about detox. But I don't know, we often sort of find that people have to leave a little bit early. And I know I'm right at that 35, 40-minute mark. So before I'm going to get into more about intermittent fasting, I'm going to talk about how you can participate with us on our group detox. And those of you who have done it before know how awesome this is. And I know we have people who come back every single time we do a guided one. And there are new people, I've seen them on chat, which is super fun. So I'm going to walk through what it is, all the things we have been doing to prepare for our 7-day detox. And this is where the whole of the Holistic Highway team has come together to support you through the cleanse. So if you're saying yes to yourself, of course, I want to know. I'm going to get Lisa to show you the slide. Can you share that cleanse slide, Lisa? And this is going to show you the next one. One back. Go back one. No, you're going forward, not back. That's the one. Yeah. We've had so many technical problems and Lisa's struggling with it today. Great. So I want to share this with you because if you've done any of our cleanses before, we have a lot of new things. And if you haven't, oh my gosh, you are in for a treat because in just a week, you're going to be blown away at how different you feel. One of the things we always do when we start a detox is we want to make sure that you know exactly where you're starting from. So we're going to start with a symptoms tracker at the beginning, and we also do a toxicity quiz too. I want to know all the places that toxins could be coming in for you. Of course, you'll have your journal. You'll be tracking what you're eating every single day, how you're sleeping, your emotional well-being, and what exercise you're doing as well. And we have a brand new meal plan that incorporates intermittent fasting. This is all along with the meal plans. You're going to get all the meal plans, the recipes, shopping lists. We've included 1 week of recipes for you when you come off your detox. There are 5 new recipes that are designed for your dosha in the fall season. So we've got lots of stuff in here, and you can keep using this whenever you want. So you can just keep reusing these recipes. And if we go to the next slide, Lisa, and of course with this, we'll be doing our Facebook group. We'll all be starting at the same time. So we're all going to start on the 16th. That's next week, 16th of October. However, as soon as you say yes to yourself, we're going to ship you out all of your stuff. You'll be sent all the information before you get started, and we'll be shipping out the cool stuff that you can see here that I'm about to show you. And there's things that we want you to do to prepare before we all start on the 16th as well. So here's what's awesome and amazing about all of this. So we have the detox program, the 7-day detox program at $25. And you're welcome to purchase that 7-day detox program just for $25. We've kept it at a low cost for you because we know we talk to people every day about how tough it is out there for all of us. But if you want to just get some of the added stuff that you may use in the cleanse, then you can get that as part of your cleanse too. We have the Triphala that you can see there. And Triphala means 3 fruits, Triphala. And Triphala is important on a cleanse because it helps tone the digestive tract. It keeps the peristalsis going well. This is amazing because Triphala has a long history of supporting your colon during a cleanse. It's a great detox health blend with the 3 fruits of amalaki, which is Indian gooseberry, haritaki, which helps keep your bowels moving, and bibitaki, which helps enhance immunity. Also helps with digestion, and it's so important to make sure that you're digesting well when you're detoxing. Now, here's the cool thing about Triphala. It makes sure your digestion is running smoothly and your digestive fire is working well. You want to be an efficient fat burner, and that can't happen if your digestion is sluggish or inefficient. And here's what happens when your digestive fire doesn't work well. If you can't digest the food that you're taking in, maybe your digestive fire is really hot and heavy, which means that your food's just going straight through the system. And how many of you, you sort of eat something and food just goes straight through? You're in the bathroom straight away. You know you're not getting any nutrition from that food. There's no way you can assimilate any nutrition. Or maybe you're constipated, a clear sign that things aren't moving well and that you're building up toxins. When we don't digest our food well, those toxins stay in the digestive system. They're not being digested. They're not going out of the system. They build up. We call that AMA. It just means digestive toxins. And then that's when we start getting symptoms. And eventually, if we don't take care of it through things like cleanses, then that AMA settles in places where we end up getting a diagnosis. So we really want to make sure that your digestive fire is working really well so it can assimilate and burn through your food. Now, we also put in the tongue scraper that you can see, because part of what you're going to do to help detox is scrape all the junk of your tongue each morning just before you clean your teeth. This is that armor showing up on your tongue. So if you have a white coating on your tongue, that's evidence of armor. And if you see that white coating or more of it at the back of your tongue, that tells us in Ayurveda that you probably have armor that's pretty systemic. It's going pretty much through the digestive system. I'm also going to put into this kit your body oil. This body oil is your self-massage oil so that you can do a lymphatic massage daily. Now, this oil, besides smelling absolutely wonderful, is filled with over 180 different herbs that are right for your dosha and the season that you're in. These herbs are all detoxifying and cleansing, but they're nourishing herbs. There's essential oils in there too for your body. So there's ashwagandha and shatavari for those of you who are familiar with Ayurveda herbs. And these are all designed to rejuvenate, to nourish, and to cleanse. And you know that doing a good lymphatic massage is helping the lymphatic system take the toxins away. The lymphatic system is a bit like the sewer pipes in your house. They're all designed to take the waste away. Now, I'll also add the castor oil. And why castor oil? Castor oil is a very gentle laxative because at the end of the day, it's plant-based. So unlike other laxatives, I can't speak tonight, other laxatives such as senna or a saline enema, it's really lubricating and nourishing to the colon. It also doesn't have the same rubber band effect that other laxatives have that can sort of back you up after you've done a flush through. Castor oil is also very good at drawing out any excess heat from the body. So it's great for people who have any sort of gastric inflammation or bouts of chronic inflammation in the lower half of the GI tract. That's IBS, colitis, Crohn's. So every 3 months or once a quarter is the perfect time to perform a castor oil cleanse because the toxins are still in your digestive system. They've not yet left the GI tract into the bloodstream and traveled to other parts of the body. That's that armor. We don't want that armor traveling to other parts of the body. But every now and then they'll get released to the bloodstream, and that happens about every 4 to 5 months. So if you can prevent that from happening, then you can use a castor oil as a preventative measure That's going to combat any imbalances or disorders. So this kit, and if you can move forward to the next slide, just click the next click. I think you have to have it on general there. I think you have to have the main page up. This kit is $100, and that includes the program, but not for you. And if the slides were working, then we'd be able to show that. So it's for $60 right now. So how awesome is that, right? Now, there are two ways that you can do this. You can just get the basic cleanse for $25, or you can get the more comprehensive kit. Now, I'm going to recommend that you get the comprehensive kit because it's a super deal. It includes the tongue scraper. And Lisa, you can stop sharing now, please. Thank you. It includes the tongue scraper. Here's your tongue scraper. It includes the Triphala. That's going to help keep you regular. And it includes your personalized body oil that's right for your dosha, as well as the castor oil. So you can grab whichever one works for you. I say get the comprehensive program because it's such a great deal. And for the first 25 people, you will also get the super rejuvenating and nourishing facial serum. It's individualized for your dosha and the season that you're in, so you know it's just right for you. And what this is going to do is going to reduce your tendency towards using personal care products that have chemicals in. I said this just recently at our skincare workshop. By the time we have gotten ready in the morning to walk out the door, we have put on over 50 different self-care products. That contains over 150 different chemicals. And we want to limit that toxin exposure. Using a natural skincare product like your facial serum is a great way to do that. Now, you know I'm a big fan of natural products, and this facial serum is a great thing to use during your cleanse week. And of course, it's for the first 25 people. So if you're saying yes to yourself, then sign up straight away. Remember, we will also have throughout the time, every day, I'll have a live Facebook video that I'll be doing. So every day you'll get a video training that I put together for you. You'll be in the Facebook group. We'll have Lisa in there every day supporting you, helping, coaching you. You've got your recipes, your meal plans, your shopping lists, the trackers, you got it all. We have you covered, and it's pretty amazing. And I love everybody saying, yes, yes, sign me up. The facial serum alone is worth it. Wonderful, super awesome. So remember, first 25 people will get the facial serum. So you'll have the whole program. If you go for the basic kit, you have all the materials needed to get started. If you go for the more comprehensive kit, you have the program and the Triphala, the tongue, the body oil, and the castor oil. You probably already have in your inbox the links to register for the program. The program is 7 days, and right now, when you say yes to yourself, you'll start getting all the information. There are things we are going to want to have you get started with now, and I'm going to talk about those in just a minute, and we'll all start together on the 16th. But there's things we want you to do to prepare, like we have to ship your things to you. Those products need to get to you. And I tell you, if you've got a friend, well, friends don't let friends be toxic, right? And yes, Julie, yes, I see what you're asking. If you want to do this at a different time, yes, of course you can. You'll still have all the information, you'll have the videos, you'll have everything to do it. So you can do it another time. We're going to start as a group on the 16th. But if you want to do it at a different time, then you can do whatever works best for you. So, all right, let's go back to the worksheet. Here we go. Let's talk about intermittent fasting and how best to do it. So what I want you to know is that it is a step into process. So even though we're all starting on the 16th, I want you to start this now, okay? And one of the really important things with intermittent fasting is that you really want to make sure you're doing everything you need to achieve good blood sugar balance. So I talk about eating by the plate, and the plate being clean protein, things like wild fish, grass-fed meats, pastured poultry, so clean protein. Also healthy fats. These are things like avocados, low roasted nuts and seeds, coconut milk, coconut oil, or even coconut butter. And then extra virgin olive oil too. And then we also want fiber from slow, low carbs and loads and loads and loads of non-starchy seasonal vegetables. By the way, we have lots of recipes for non-starchy seasonal vegetables. My biggest goal is that we're going to show you in so many ways how to get vegetables in and really get hooked on them. So that's the first way. You just want to make sure that your meals have clean protein, healthy fats, fiber from slow, low carbs, and lots of non-starchy seasonal vegetables. So why am I saying lots of non-starchy seasonal vegetables and clean protein? The protein and the fiber together slow down stomach emptying. This keeps a hormone called ghrelin suppressed so that you're just not hungry. It helps you feel fuller longer. What the fats do when you're having healthy fats is they trigger the release of some neuropeptides or neural messengers in your small intestines that tell your brain you just ate. So that's one of the reasons why we do this. Plus, having the fiber in there and having the protein with the fat is going to keep your insulin from going up as high. It's going to keep your blood sugar much more stable. Now, you notice I have talked a lot about fiber. Yes, ghee, absolutely, Sylvie. Ghee is wonderful. I've showed you my extra fiber product, which is Triphala. I always travel with it. Triphala is my secret weapon because it balances blood sugar. It also helps pull out toxins. Plus, it's going to make you have poops that you're going to be proud of. And you know, if you've worked with us in Ayurveda, we talk a lot about poop. But it's going to bulk out your stools. It's going to help you stay regular. It's going to pull out those toxins, and it's going to help balance your blood sugar. So that's number 9, okay? Number 9, fiber is my secret weapon as it helps balance blood sugar and helps pull out toxins. Okay, there you go. Perfect. And I'm just saying that if you do animal proteins, then they should then do clean proteins. They don't have to be animal proteins. Just talking about some people may be doing animal proteins in the chat. Okay, so that's step 1, is we have to have good blood sugar level balance. Next, I want you to start working on stopping eating at least 3 hours before bed. Now, that doesn't mean you just go to bed later so you can eat later. If you go to bed at 10, then dinner has to be by 7. Bonus points if you can have dinner before 6. But there needs to be at least 3 hours or more between dinner and bed. And here's a little hint. If you do get hungry in the evening, have a glass of water. It will absolutely shut down those hunger pangs. Not iced water, not cold water, but warm water. Just have 1 glass though, don't have a gallon, or you'll be up all night peeing. Now, next things, when you wake up, have a little hot water with lemon, and then wait. I want you to wait a little while before you have breakfast. That's because I want you to get to work on a 12-hour window of fasting before you eat again. So we're going to be looking at extending your overnight fast. That's step 1. And one of the things that's helped me in my life is that the kitchen is shut down after dinner. In my perfect world, there will be a lockdown in my kitchen. So after dinner, lock it down. It does not open until at least 12 hours later. So that's your first place to start. Dinner's between 6 and 7. And if it is, then breakfast is going to be 7 o'clock or later. So for me now, I'll eat dinner between 6 and 7, and I'll have breakfast between 8 and 9. But during intermittent fasting, I'll push it. I'll push dinner earlier. So dinner will be between 5 and 6, and breakfast will be between 8 and 9. That's a good long fast. And I found for women especially, we do a little better if we have breakfast between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning and dinner a little earlier, around about 5. So if you ate breakfast at 9 and then dinner at 5, you could also have breakfast at 10, then you would have to have dinner at 6. But you want to really have finished dinner by 6. Does that make sense? And I want you to get started on those things this week before we officially start together next week. And again, you can do this whenever you want, but if you want to do it with a group, well, we're all going to start on the 16th. We're actually going to start on Friday, but we'll really get going strong on Sunday so that you have the weekend to prepare for it. So start extending that window, eat by the plate, get your blood sugar balanced, start drinking a lot of water in between meals because then you're not snacking, and snacking is the worst idea ever. So stop snacking, but drink a lot of water in between meals. And I'm going to give you some different fluid recommendations in the program that's going to help you with blood sugar balance and help you stave off any cravings as well. But the goal is for the next week, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No snacks, lots of water in between. Then we're going to start having dinner a little earlier and breakfast just a little later. See how easy that is? So something cool that you can do just on a regular basis, even if it's all you do, is just a couple of days a week. Throw that in. See what works well for you. I find it works really well for me on the weekends. So I'll do 2 days of intermittent fasting on the weekend and often throw one in during the week. If I'm traveling, which hasn't happened at all lately, but if I'm traveling and changing time zones, then I'm always doing intermittent fasting. All right, so let's talk about the do's and don'ts of detoxing. One of the first things you're going to do is take our toxicity quiz, and that's going to identify things. First, it's going to identify where toxins are coming from. So clearly, don't add more toxins in. Look at every area where toxins are potentially coming into your life, like the containers you're using. Are you buying bottled water in plastic? Are you buying canned vegetables? And maybe they're not PBE-free lined cans. So if I'm doing tomato sauce, I like those glass jars or bottles because tomatoes are acidic and that they're going to break down plastic. Look at all the different options that there are out there. Are you buying organic, especially for the Dirty Dozen from the Environmental Working Group? So let's clean out wherever possible because we don't want to add more. We want to control that as much as possible. And then the next thing we want to look at is what are the things that we can do on a regular basis to get rid of toxins? So one of the key things that I'll see that we'll do in this program is that we'll have you eat a lot of seasonal veggies that are right for your dosha. You know, a lot of those root veggies like carrots, greens, sweet potatoes, the fall squashes, and that's number 10 on your sheet. Eat lots of detoxifying foods like apples, they're in season right now, beets, and parsley. We're going to make a wonderful nutritional detoxifying drink with parsley that's going to be quite powerful. And the reason to eat these foods is because your body detoxes in multiple phases. The first thing it does is it frees things up. It frees those toxins up and then removes them from the digestive system. But it's not good if you just free things up and get the toxins out of the fat cells, but not out of the body. That's when you start feeling worse. And how many times have you done something that you thought you'd feel better and you're like, wow, I feel rotten. What's going on? I feel worse and not better. And this is where many cleanses stop. They get the toxins out of your fat cells, but then they just leave them there. Many fruit juice cleansers do this, That's why we use castor oil. Remember, detoxification is a nutrient-dense process. And I think that's actually number 11. Yes. Which is number 11, eat nutrient-dense foods. So a detox and cleanse is a nutrient-dense process, and that's why we use our food as medicine and make a nutrient-dense green super drink. We have great recipes to make your foods even more nutrient-dense. And it's really important to have nutrient-dense food when you do these. A lot of antioxidants are needed to reduce inflammation. You're freeing up toxins, and we've got to get them out. Otherwise, we're going to create more damage, more problems, more inflammation. So we really want to make sure that we're getting the toxins out as we're doing this. It's really important. But also, just as important is water. Water, water, water. And here's why. How do we get toxins out? How do toxins come out? Well, we pee them out. We're going to poop them out, and we're also going to sweat them out, and we're going to fast them out, because fasting triggers that autophagy that I talked about that takes out the cellular trash. So those of you who are ahead of me already know this. Number 12, we are pee, poop, sweating, and fasting it out. So that's fasting it out. So remember, we're taking out the cellular trash with the intermittent fasting. We're going to enhance detoxifying with a lymphatic massage using your dosha-specific body oil. But you can also enhance detoxing with exercise. We'll have a dynamic yoga sequence for you. You can use a sauna, hot showers, more exercise if you want. And you want to make sure that you're eliminating. And that's why this Triphala is so awesome. So a shout out for Triphala. You'll also be drinking your dosha teas and spices. You'll get the recipe for all those in your program. And these are vital for keeping the body's systems running smoothly. So all this is going to enhance your elimination. So lots of water, take your Triphala, lots of lymphatic massages, and your cleansing teas and spices. And the cleansing recipes are all going to be in your program. So here's why this is so awesome to do this right now, because we can manage it. We're home, right? Most of us. You know, it's that thing where people say, oh my gosh, I'm stuck at home, I'm eating, I'm bored, I'm just grazing all day, I'm not feeling great, I'm fatigued, I'm just laying on the couch. But you are also at home and you can control things. You can control your environment. You can get on a better schedule. You can easily make these things. This is actually very easy to do. And when you do intermittent fasting or shorten your feeding window, you can do 3 simple meals a day that we give you the recipes for. So it's ever so easy to do. So it's simple for you to do. Now is great news. Now you have more control over your schedule and your meals. But of course, if you're not on a program like this and you're home, well, hey, it's more chance to just snack and graze throughout the day. And I know that's happening, but not on my watch. So we'll be able to do this together as a group. And again, if that doesn't work for your schedule, don't worry, you can still jump in. You'll have all the tools you need to do it when you want to do it. But I always love to have a start date if I can. All right, let's go through the offer one more time. I also want to remind you, for the first 25 people, you'll get this super cool facial serum. Oh, that's the castor oil. What did I do? I put it somewhere. Here it is. Don't let the small size fool you. It's mighty. And I love mine. I travel with it. I use it throughout the day. It's a great thing to use during that week. And yes, somebody's asked me, can men use it too? So yes, also good for men. So let's talk through this. Let's go through the basic stuff. I just want to make sure that you know everything that's in the program. It's a brand new program. It's our detox that combines the traditional strategies of Ayurveda with intermittent fasting. You're going to get the meal plans with this. You'll also get 3 additional meal plans that are right for your dosha, So you get a lot here for after the cleanse too, to make sure you stay on the right track and eat foods that are right for you. You could do this a couple of times a year by yourself, but if you want to do it with us, even more fun. We'll be starting on the 16th. Also, beyond the meal plans and the recipes, we'll have the shopping list too, so that you'll know exactly what to do. Super easy, takes the guesswork out of it. I'm not up for figuring out what to buy and what to make, so we make it super simple for you with easy recipes. This is not one of those cleanses that you're sort of, oh, now I have to spend 10 hours in the kitchen. No, we're not doing that. Super easy to do. And of course, the health tracker. That's really important. The minute you start this, I want you to take the toxicity quiz. It's really important to see where you're starting from. So take that toxicity quiz, see where the toxins are showing up, see how you're doing detoxifying, take the symptoms tracker to see where toxins are showing up in your body. Take a before shot too, because you're going to be blown away with what can happen in a week. You will be amazed with what happens to your waist, your weight, your energy levels, your symptoms like low energy, gas and bloating, even your skin. So that's the first thing. And of course, the Facebook group. I'll be sending you videos every day of things to do, but nothing overwhelming. This is literally minutes a day because we're busy, right? So just to clarify, you can just say yes to yourself and do the 7-day Ayurveda cleanse for $25, or get the cleanse and the products I just went through for $60. You'll save 40, as this would normally be 100. And the first 25 people who sign up will get the facial serum too. Now, this is what's going on. We're going to start on the 16th. If you can. If you can't, no sweat. You can do it whenever you want to. But this offer will be going away to get the products, because obviously it's an insane offer. As some of you have pointed out on chat, many of these products are worth much more than that. The offer is only here until the 10th. It's the 8th right now, only for the next couple of days. But if you don't want to wait, well, I don't want you to wait till the 10th. You don't want to wait till the 10th, because then you'll miss out on this absolutely awesome facial serum. And I don't want you missing out. So it's a week-long detox, but I want you to get started on your tracking right away, start doing your 12-hour intermittent fasting underway to start getting your blood sugar stabilized. So there's a lot you can do to go ahead and get started. All right. Okay. It's been amazing. I hope you love the program I put together. It's been quite a process. I've been working on this for quite a while now, and I'm super excited to share it with you now. I'm also super excited to do it with you as well. Both Lisa and I will be doing this. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in the Facebook group. That's where I'll meet you. We'll be doing this together as a group. But remember, if you want to wait, you can. Now you'll have the tools in this program to be able to do it whenever you want. So again, my goal is that you'll go intense for a week. You'll see amazing results. So if you're here now and you are feeling a little tired, a little bloated, a little stuck, then again, imagine just 1 week, more energy, right? Less inflammation, more confidence, less belly bloat in a week. And then you'll have these tools that you can bring into your everyday life. So I figure if we can do this intensely for 1 week, then after that week, you'll take some of these tools and you'll bring them into your everyday life. So we just keep getting better and better and better together. That's it. It's been terrific. I want to honor our time together, make sure I end on time, and I've already gone over. And I appreciate you. I look forward to doing this with you, and I'd love to know what you think as we dive into it. It's the best one yet. So I'll see you soon. And you will get information. Absolutely. All the information is going to come into your inbox if it's not already there. It should have gone out at 8 o'clock for you. You'll have everything. If not, just drop us a line, grab us, and we'll make sure that you get in. So see you soon. See you next week. Bye, guys.